So the other day I posted a video about setting personal bests and how old and things of that nature and when, it might get more difficult or not. And I try, it's going to probably sound a little weird, but with personal bests and things, I try and think about, all the different exercises and types and what have you. And similar to when I coach my college athletes, as far as, finding small wins and trying to take the best out of every training session, I think as adults we should do the same thing, right? If we are doing whatever we are doing in the gym as far as our programming for that day, I think it's important that we track after, after we're done, or keep track of sets, reps, weights, things of that nature, that we actually take a sentence or take a moment, write a sentence or two, and think about the wins for the day. And so since as I've been getting a little older and tore my pec and realized that maybe some things aren't as important to achieve anymore, I do take comfort and solace in those little things, right? So safety squat bar the other day, 335 for a set of 10. I haven't had that much weight on my back since last July, I think, when I did 335 for 5. But I think it's important for us as individuals to not only keep track, but also keep track of what exactly, right? So we have to know what we want to get better at, what we want to accomplish in order to better realize our dream, right? Or our personal legend, as if you've read The Alchemist, right? Santiago, his personal legend, discovering this golden treasure, or it was really right where he started. But for us, anybody else who's training or has just particular life goals in mind, really need to think about not only what it is, why that's important to us, and how we're going to manifest that. Like, what are we going to do for that? And writing about it, journaling, putting pen to paper, and really thinking about, okay, what can I actually do? What is this going to look like? How am I going to be able to achieve my goal? And it can be a daunting task sometimes, especially if you've never traveled along that road, if you will. So I just think it's important as not as we age or get older, but as we discover new goals or new things that we want to accomplish, to really think about the scope of the why it's important to do that, how it might help us in the future, what we need to do in order to achieve that goal. I think it'll make that whole process, the process moving forward towards accomplishing that, all the easier. Accountability partners definitely help. A lot of people have reached out about wanting to work and collaborate, which I think is fantastic. And if you're interested, if you think you want to have a conversation at least and talk about what we could do to realize and achieve goals, shoot me a message. I'd love to talk to you about that stuff. I do it with my college athletes. I do it as part of my sports performance job at the college. And it's not just the track athletes. It's really fun engaging similar ideas with other athletes on campus. And there are some differences between predominantly individual team sports and your more traditional team sports. So predominantly individual team sports, track, swimming and diving, golf, tennis, cross country, right? Like, we are an individual on a team, but our success is not predicated on somebody else's performance per se. And I'm not talking about relays and swimming or track and field and things like that. But like in golf, for example, you could have 6 members of the golf team, but you are the one that is taking every shot. You're the one that is lining up the putts. Same thing with track. You're the thrower, you're the jumper, you're the sprinter. You're the one that's doing the work that's going to ultimately benefit the team. But once your name is called, there's really nothing else anybody can do to help you. Now, a more traditional team sport, soccer, baseball, basketball, hockey, you are relying on other individuals for your own performance, right? If you are a running back, you need to make sure that your offensive line is going to block for you. Otherwise, you're not going to get the yards that you want. If you're a quarterback and you want to pass for 300 yards every game, well, if your wide receivers don't catch the ball, or if you don't get the ball in the vicinity where they can catch it, it's probably not going to happen. So I enjoy those conversations. If you're someone that wants to have a conversation about that, about sports performance and realizing your goals, your personal legends, your dreams, let me know, and we can have a conversation about that. We can put together a plan, and we can figure out where you're going to go.